Hello, my sweet Pisces. Today, my little sweet soul warriors. Okay, this is your reading for today. I am Alea. Okay, I've chosen all of the cards that I've chosen today are either water or moon decks. And this is, I'll have to look it up for you, sorry. Top or bottom? Top. Oops, sorry. Got the deck upside down. Well, maybe I don't. I don't read reversals unless they tell me to. All right. All right. This is the ocean, and you'll see that this is the. You see how it's Neptune, and he's got all the horses, the water horses, and he's got his pitchfork and everything. He is definitely in control. So this is part of who you are today or now. We all change from time to time. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you weren't the same person. But as of right now, you're in pretty big control. Really a neat card. Can you see this really well? Let me try to bring it in a little closer for you. And you see, now water is emotions. And Pisces, as you know, it definitely, you have a lot of emotions. Beautiful card though. Beautiful that you have so much power and control. All right, and this is a dam. If you'll notice, okay, there's a bird, and that's of the air also. But the water is here, so you still have a lot of emotions, but there's a dam back here. There's some things that you're not letting in, and you know, a bird is like a sword. They fly through the air, cuts through the truth. So there's something up here that you are finding out, I believe, but this is, you definitely put up a dam against some of your emotions. And you'll notice the emotions here, the water is really rough. So that tells me that back behind the dam or the wall that you've set up, there's a whole ocean. But in front of you right now, your emotions are pretty in turmoil. And if you'll notice in this card too, there's a lot of turmoil, but it's made by you moving through the water, moving through your emotions. You do have a lot of control though. It's really amazing, a lot of power. Okay, and this, I'm trying to see if I've got the card up where you can see it. This is reflection. So you see, move it down a little bit more. I'm not trying to get it in the camera. Okay, this person is meditating, and what he's seeing is, or he's meditating on himself. He's seeing his reflection in the water. So there's a lot. He's on land right now, but his reflection is in the water. So he's thinking about his emotions. He's really trying to, he's meditating. So you're trying to go kind of deep inside your emotions, maybe find out a little bit more about you. Pretty interesting. Very, very lovely cards. They are water something. I'll let you know in a little bit. And these are the Ocean Oracle, I believe. Okay. Uh-oh. All right. Let's see what we've got before I jump the gun. Okay. This card is, can I get it in focus where you can see it? It's sealing both sides. It's take a step back and try looking at this from a different perspective. So now this is telling me a little bit more about this card. You're heading, let me put it this way. You go at things pretty strongly, and sometimes you don't tend to think about what you're doing at this point right now. And he does have a lot of power. He's the king of his emotions, but he's churning up the waters as he goes through them. You have so much power though, but then you're sealing it, what it says about sealing both sides. Take a step back and try looking at this from a different perspective. So you're just moving pretty fast, but you need to stop a little bit and look a little bit. This meditation card, look inside a little bit more. Okay? And this is, I'm trying to make sure I have it in focus. Push to the surface. You may have become complacent. You might be stalling or in need of a new surge of energy. Become aware of the dynamics of your life. You are, again, you're such a powerful person. You see this? The whale, and he's pushing the little baby up to the top. You're living in your emotions, but you are trying to push some things to the top. You're trying to figure out things. That's the truth. This next one, can I get it in focus for you? Childlike devotion. You are a multi-talented, complex being. Embrace and love who you are. So that is in this row also with this card, where you're meditating or trying to find out who you really are. You're trying to go and see the person inside. Really neat cards though. Okay, let's see, who do we want to do next? How about the Moonology? Okay, this is Moonology and Moonology Manifestation. Okay, both of them. And I've already pre-shuffled, so I like to do that so it saves time in a reading. Oh, they're telling me this one should have been upside down. Okay. Okay. So here we are. Get it where you can see it. Communication is the key. New moon in Gemini. And you see, Gemini is two, it's like the twins, okay, together. So, but in your reading, I think this is you and seeing who you really are, okay? You see the moon is mysterious. We don't always know what's on the back side of the moon, but there is a little sliver of light coming through. So there's something you have to talk to either yourself or someone else about. I think you need to do a lot of inner communication. That's my opinion. Okay. And this one would have been honor your feelings. But you got it. They told me to put it, came out upside down, and they told me to keep it that way. The thing is, you're not honoring your feelings. I don't think at times you feel good about yourself. You don't really know who you are. But you see in this card, if it was upright, the moon, of course, is mystery, things we don't know. But it's also, you see, it's half dark and half light. So there's some things that are being illuminated for you. And to me, I always think this little circle here, or the little orb, is you inside, okay? And the person is, again, you got two meditating cards. You see this one? When you get two cards from two different decks, it's kind of hard to deny. So I think you need to look inside just a little bit more. Figure out more about yourself. Because, I'm sorry, this came out upside down. So you're not honoring your inner feelings. Okay. And then this one is, you see it? Go Wild. And it has a lion. It's a full moon in Leo. And you see the moon is, excuse me, excuse me again. The moon is like red. Red is usually fire, power, and Leo is a fire sign. So there's something inside you that's very fiery, inside your emotions, okay? But you have the dam, you're holding it back. So they just want you to start being more, maybe not outgoing, but be a little happier. You know, just do something for the fun of it. Enjoy your life a little bit more. Stop. I mean, you think a lot. You're a deep thinker, but, and they do want you to figure out who you really are and your feelings, but they also want you to enjoy life a little bit. Have fun. Okay. And these are this is the priestess of the moon. Okay. They're telling me the back side. Okay. What do we got here? Well, I'm going to put that one. They're telling me that one too, where it belongs. Okay. So, this is darkness. Can you see it? This is darkness. There we go. And there's a little rabbit here. I don't know if you can really see it. And then, of course, the moon, dark again in another deck. The moon is dark with just a sliver of glow around it. And there's a path that goes through here. A rabbit is always like fertility, abundance. But you have so much. But you're in darkness right now. I originally thought, I'm going to have to redo my thinking on this one. You do have a lot of power, but you are living in your emotions right now. And you're moving through those emotions. Okay? But right now, I think your emotions seem pretty dark for you. You really don't understand a lot of them or know how to fix them or get rid of the ones that are bringing you down. Wow. And see, you got another dark moon with a little glow around it. Let me put them back in there, if I can get them in focus. So you got two different decks with both dark moons with a little glow around them. What did I do here? Okay. Did I accidentally pull two cards? No. There we go. Sorry. Okay, and then this one, if you look at it right side, it's assessing. And you'll see, I'll get it in focus here. She's up in a balloon and she's looking at the moon again. Now these are moon cards, but in this one, the moon is half illuminated and half invisible. So, but she has risen above. She's in a balloon. And so she's looking at the stuff that is illuminated, and she's trying to figure out the stuff that she doesn't know. However, you got it reversed. So you are still trying to figure out things. You haven't risen above some of this stuff right now. And then, of course, you even got this moon card upside down. You're not honoring your feelings. I love doing the cards like this because one deck kind of explains the previous deck. Really love this. But you really need to feel better about yourself. That's the honest to God truth, if I can say that. But you need to understand more of you. And I think you're trying. But right now, I think you're a little depressed. And this one, let's see if I can get it in focus. This one's attraction. And you'll see that someone is sitting, whether you're male or female, they're sitting outside and looking at the moon, but they're kind of looking sideways. You see that? So even though the moon is sort of mysterious and we don't always know what's on the other side of the moon or what's coming, but you're not looking directly at the moon, and it actually kind of goes with this card too, where you're not really assessing a lot of stuff. I think you're trying, but you can't figure out how. And this is attraction. So you're trying to attract things, but you're not looking at the moon directly. You're looking off to the side. So you really, there again, I'm going to pull this card again. You know, you got to take a step back and look from a different, I'm trying to get it, look from a different angle, basically. It's like, you know, if you were in the water, the sharks, fish run sometimes, so, but they find a different place to hide, or they look and see where can they go to get out of the way. So right now, you've got a lot. I think you're pretty much depressed at this time. You need to have some more fun. Go wild. Okay, what else have we got here? Oh, let's do your mermaid cards. You really need these. Okay. Okay. This is the Five of Cups. Oh, can you see it? There we go. And you'll see, if I can bring it in a little closer. The Five of Cups, there's 3 cups here. See? And they're spelt, and there's 2 cups back here. And of course, you're focusing on what you have now, or what you're doing now, okay? But you don't realize there's 2 more cups of opportunity or love behind you. You're not focusing. And here again, the rest of this reading is telling you the same thing. You gotta focus on yourself a little bit more. You need to have some more fun. But there's more out here that's been offered to you. You just can't see it. All you can see right now is what's in front of you. You're trying. And this is, I can get it in focus. 7 of Pentacles. Okay, and you see a 7 of Pentacles, you see all they're having a baby. That doesn't mean you're going to have a baby. It could mean if you're pregnant or whatever, but basically it means you've got choices. Okay, you see all of these little things, pentacles up above the baby. And so if this were cups, you'd have choices of, you could choose good or bad or anything. But in these cards right now, they're looking at all the pentacles, okay? Pentacles are stability, could even mean stability in love, but it's something that you're hatching or nurturing, but you do have choices here in these mermaid cards. It's like, look at all of these, but it's also a good, what am I trying to say? There's so much here for you that you're growing. In the original Rider-Waite, they're growing some pentacles. But right now, to me, it looks like you've got choices. Which one do I want to use above? But they're all here. You've got so much stability and solidness that you can have, that is coming, I believe, for you. You are a solid person, but you sometimes let your emotions rule you, and I think you just need to get in there and believe in yourself a little bit more. Get rid of those feelings that are harming you. Okay. Page of Wands. And now, can you see? Okay. She has a wand in her hand, and wands are usually fire element. They're energy, action, sometimes sensuality, but a gift of a page is bringing you something, but it's like action or something to do with action, but also sometimes it can be don't jump. It can trying to give you a message of what to do. And so I think sometimes you just jump before you really think, but I think, in my opinion, just go a little deeper and figure out who you are more. okay? It's been a little tough for you. Okay, what else am I doing here? Okay. These are, what are they? They're hidden worlds. And these are lovely cards. Sometimes they're a little hard to read. Okay. And read them sideways. And this is the secret, the unknown, and the mysteries and the wonder. You've gotten so many where you don't know, like cards here, if I can show you again, where you don't know. You've gotten this one where you don't know. You've gotten this one here where you're not sure. So you've gotten a lot of cards like that. Let me see through here. You've gotten also this one. There's an attraction, but you're not looking directly at it. You've gotten so many cards like that. So you're, I think sometimes you go through depression, but you're a very powerful being, but you move through the water fast. You move through your emotions, and sometimes you jump a little too fast. This is the second card that you're jumping a little too fast. But I think you've been a little depressed lately, and I think you're trying to figure out who you are, or you need to. I do believe you need to do more of that. And that's not that hard. If there's something or someone you'd like to be or like to be like, figure out what they do that you don't do, and then you know what you have to change. This is the unknown again, and the secret. And you see, they're kind of like an ethereal person, kind of in and out, not real, but yet not unreal. So that's where you're going with this. Figure out, seriously, if you see someone that you admire, figure out what they do that you don't do. And then you can say, I want to be like that. Then you figure out why you're not like that. All right, this one came out upside down, and I'm going to leave it. This is the angel gate, and it's cleansing, protection, and blessing. It did come in upside down. Now, here's the thing. I don't think you're cleansing, you're getting rid of a lot of things, but I do believe you are protected. You're trying very hard, and sometimes it overwhelms you. Your emotions overwhelm you. The protection is here. You have the angel, but what you don't have is the cleansing, getting rid of those old thoughts, because they're trying to help you. You are a searcher. You really are. You're trying to figure things out. Okay. Love this card. It's beautiful. I can get it in the camera. Full Moon Temple. Celebration, peak, transcendental, let's just say that. Transcendental, I know that's not what it says. Transcendent moments. Okay. But you also see, these are not moon cards, but this one also has the moon. Of course, you're a water being, so, and the water is dripping all off the plateau, the floating plateau, and then there's the moon inside. So you have moments where you peek through, you break through your thoughts, and all of a sudden it's like you're clear. But then sometimes you waver back and forth, and then you think, well, but if that was true, or if I was like that, it would make me like this, or something along those lines. But as I said, these are not water cards, but you can see this one here, if I can pick it up, was the forest. And then this one, of course, but it did have some water in it. But these are not water cards, but you've got the moon and the temple of the moon, the full moon. But you see, one thing for you, which is really neat, is the moon is glowing. It's lit up. So there is some illumination. And sometimes when you're trying to figure things out, when you're going inside your emotions, you hit something that's right. You know it's right. It's right on. It illuminates everything. But sometimes then you have trouble. You let it go, and then you go back and forth. These cards are telling you that you are, I'm going to pull this one out again. You're a very powerful being. I mean, you got Neptune. And Neptune rules the ocean, but you also rule your emotions. But you're moving pretty fast through, you see the water's a little rough. And so what this is telling me after I got the rest of the reading out is that your emotions have been pretty rough, and you've been going through them fast. You just go through them, and you don't stop and think about them sometimes, some of those thoughts. You got to slow down a little bit. You got to figure out who you really want to be, because I think you get depressed sometimes, and it's really tough on you when you do. Some days I think you can't make it, but you can. It's not that difficult. If you, again, I'm going to stress this, if there's something you don't like about yourself, find somebody you admire. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's movie stars, but you don't really know them most of the time. But maybe a positive speaker or someone. And I think maybe it wouldn't hurt you to listen to some positive speaking. I will tell you this. I am not a big fan of affirmations. People look in the mirror and tell themselves they're beautiful or they're lovely or whatever, they're wealthy for years, and it never works. You've got to get inside and figure out what thoughts are stopping you from believing in yourself. And you can't do that by just telling yourself in the mirror, you're great or something. So if you can just find a way, whenever a thought comes up about yourself that you don't like, replace it with something that you do like, or replace it with something you're grateful for. When you start being grateful, things connect to you, it brings more into you. And when things are coming in, you don't feel a lack, you don't feel unhappy. So when your mind is clear, that's when you're really going to get a lot of the answers. Although I do find sometimes when I dig deep, it's not, I'm not always happy with the answers I find. But then afterwards, I'm laughing and I'm happy. So I know you've been a little depressed, and I know it's been a little tough for you mentally, but hang in there. You are protected, truthfully, you are. You just have to see that. I love you all, and I'm getting up to turn off my camera. I'm so sorry. I really do love y'all. I hope you're well. Thank you. Oh, I can turn it off.